It was on the wrong Instagram. I was looking like Bristol. Hi!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for hosting this for all of us. Like, we're so proud of you and the whole community. We're like, wow. You know, just I know that you have so much that you care about, and the fact that you like share it. This is the work.
Oh, thank you so much.
How are you feeling?
Like this, and like you guys were so down, and it's just so nice. Yeah, it's just like I felt like we really needed a refresh, and
yes,
experts. So,
Oh, you cut out there for a second. There you go.
Oh,
oh, there you go. How are you feeling?
Huge.
Yeah. And I love that you said this is just so like transparency, right? Like I think part of this is that, and you'll be the one to share with us, but with many women, I feel that you feel different at different times in your life within your body. And so like really being okay with, you know, in moments where you're like, I feel huge and like this feels uncomfortable. And even though there's something really beautiful, there's like times of transition, and it doesn't mean that at all times you feel fantastic, but it is part of that process. So
yeah. It's at that point where I'm like, okay, I feel like everything was like, oh, this is great. And then like you hit the oh my God.
Yes. And you're winded, right? Like, I think it's kind of like the pandemic in a way. We realize that just doing the most simple things are a gift. You're like, what? I went to go get a glass of water and now I'm winded. It's very humbling. You know, the women that have been blessed enough to have children always tell me like, Max, I can do anything. I've had a child. I can do anything. So you just realize like really simple things are a gift, you know? And I'm sure you just realize as you've been moving, you've been doing yoga this time throughout.
I have. I've been doing yoga, which has been so helpful, and just like I think mentally helpful as well. And I've just been kind of like, you know, I've been working out, but like I haven't been too hard on myself.
Yes.
Doing that, I just want to like kind of let my body just kind of do its thing and listen to the body. And obviously, it's like such fun stuff like sciatic nerve problems.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think the hardest part about being pregnant in COVID is that like I don't feel comfortable going to like chiropractors or do to help you in your pregnancy. I really haven't been doing that. So that's kind of like a little bit hard.
Yeah, you don't have those resources as readily available, but there is a part of that you become really resourceful. And this is some of the thing that we speak about in the work that I do with women is the most profound thing you can do for your body is to establish self-trust. And so when it becomes from, okay, this is how I'm feeling, my back is really hurting me, what can I do and what can I practice or what resources can I use where I am that help me trust that no matter what situation you're in, that you can rely on your own ability to problem solve. And so this is like old school. Our mothers are listening, like, you girls are a trip, you know, all the things that you do. My mom always teases, like, we didn't have access to those things. So we definitely understand the privilege in that. But also, you know, there is more information available to us now, whether it's like Google or just like even reconnecting with your community. So I would say like reaching out to somebody in this community that has had children or a girlfriend or a mother, you know, it really establishes that communication of like, what did you do? I have a couple clients now that are pregnant and they're sick in the morning. And so my mom's like, regulate your blood sugar. And I'm getting info. And like, this is what the platform does is you women and your team have created resources. So when people are feeling a certain kind of way, they know, okay, I'm not alone. I might not get to the chiropractor, but there's a platform that I can come to. And there's information that can be like a holding hand there.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's amazing how like Zoom has really like just, I mean, who knew we could do so much?
Incredible, like wildly resourceful. But I also think what you're saying is really important, whether you're pregnant or you aren't, is that kindness that you're saying and kind of letting your body guide you. And when it's time for you to kind of challenge yourself, you will. But also just, I feel that so much around exercise and movement and some of the conversation we end up having is coming to movement with an open heart, because so much of it was something we were ingrained for obligation. Like I need to go work out, or I feel like I have to, or judgment, where whether we were like eating something or really kind of pressing ourselves with our body. So really coming to it without that judgment, without the obligation, without punishment. I'm a former athlete, so it was like, if we're running sprints or doing intervals, it meant we lost a game and now we're in trouble. So now it's like, okay, can we come to movement because we want to feel great in our body, or because we want mental clarity? And really knowing that's helped me so much. When you said that, it made me smile, because just thinking about movement in terms of your brain and brain cognition. So sometimes before I'd be like, I don't really feel like moving today, but I'm like, my brain health will really prosper from doing this. And so when you move it and being outside of it being about body image necessarily, and really like, what are the real tangible things that I benefit from, like better sleep and sharper mental clarity, regulating your blood sugar, like this healthy relationship, it helps you show up in like a really patient way, I think.
No, it's so true. I feel like, it's like this morning I've been going from like one thing to the next, and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, but I'm like, I'm actually excited to do this because like half the time when I was younger, I was like not a gym girl, but it was like, I really liked the idea of it. And I was just like, how do I get myself excited to go?
Yeah.
You feel so good. And especially like this pandemic, in the very beginning, I wasn't working out like crazy. Obviously, like work out all the time with a private trainer usually. And I was just like, okay, allowing myself to also kind of be like, this is new for us. We're all going through something right now. And, but once I started back into movement, it's like, oh gosh, it just makes you feel so much better. It's just like mentally, brain, like it's just like endorphins, like you just feel a lot better, even just doing the most, like a hike, like
yes.
Small.
Yeah. And I love that. Like sometimes sometimes this discomfort and judgment comes from the expectation of how you think you're supposed to work out. So if you're not someone who even ever enjoyed the gym, but you love yoga and hiking and dance, like pick what you love and show up that way. And then you can always sprinkle in that versatility. But I just always, people say, Max, am I supposed to do this thing? Like, you're not supposed to do any of it, but pick what you do enjoy. So if you absolutely hate a certain form of movement, but you do enjoy going on a hike, getting that vitamin D, getting fresh air, then pick that and start there. So there's no point. I really, we talk a lot here about life design, being strategic. You are the artist of your life. You're crafting your life. So what can you bring into your life that you are wild about? Not that's like decent, like you want wild, something that you are like, I'm very drawn to this. I feel, and these are cues. Sometimes people ask me, well, how do I know if I feel drawn to it? If in doing something, it might be a little uncomfortable. There are certain cues we can start to recognize in our body. So when you go hiking compared to maybe when you were in the gym, your shoulders maybe started to kind of raise up because you're uncomfortable. So just noticing what allowed you to just drop those shoulders away from the ears. What are you doing when you start to notice that you have controlled breathing versus like really shallow breathing because you're tense and tight? And ultimately, the thing that's uncomfortable, whether you're like excited or something's uncomfortable, the same part of our brain lights up for that. So giving it time to be able to say, okay, like, let me just ground, like you're saying, and just like pause into this and then figure out, which way can I express in this moment? Maybe the only expression you have is to sit and be still outside. That's beautiful and super profound when you can do, we say little things often or little things consistently. So it doesn't need to be that hour workout. I know so many women and people that are busy and they do like, Max, I don't have 30 minutes even for a workout. But when we do look at research and we see, wow, okay, when we actually break up, if we can try every 60 minutes to move for 3 to 6 minutes, mindful movement in minutes, it has profound effects for our entire body. So you don't have to actually be working out for 30 minutes, even an hour. If you can every 60 minutes, like get up and get some movement in for just a couple minutes, it's fantastic. So.
Well, how did you come up with, I was wondering, how did you come up with the MG method?
Well, I would always say that there was no really, people always say, oh, Maxine going to MG. Actually, the MG would stand for my group. So it would be my girls, my guys, my group. And it's your method in the way in which you live. So I would say, Ashley's my girl and she likes to do this. So I would share it with somebody else and then they'd be like, oh, let me play with that. Let me try it. And so the method is that there is no one method. It's you kind of picking and pulling what works for you and then crafting your own method. And so really when we see people have the longest form of whole health, holistic health, it's actually rooted in community. So like our ancestors were tribal, they worked in groups. So like when we pay attention to people, especially now in the pandemic, when they're concerned about being lonely, like actually calling your friend and saying, hey, I'm feeling this during my pregnancy. So really trying to find a way to find people that can become your group. When you have accountability, if it's not even for you, but you know, okay, I told Ash I'm going on a hike today. She's going on her hike. Ash, how was your hike? It was beautiful. How about yours? Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. You know, this is what helps you be accountable. And so sometimes we think that it only needs to stem from us and we call this self-care. But I really am confident that group care, exactly what you're doing in this wellness week, is what helps us show up fully.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were sitting there like, oh my goodness, you know, you told me you were going to be here. You told everybody else on the live you were going to be here. And guess what? You're here. So when you feel stuck, when you feel like, oh my goodness, you know, it's really hard for me to show up. People say, how do you stay motivated? We put this thing together called The Pledge, which was just a sheet that was like 30 days that you pledge to care. It doesn't matter if you hit 30 days consecutively. It's free. You can just cross that off or do it with a girlfriend or a partner. And then you know, okay, I can share this with somebody. And this is just a way for us to like really be strategic with our design and the way that we kind of create systems so that we have whole health in our life.
So cool.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do today?
Okay. Yeah. So I want to just get us on our feet. So most of the time we're pretty sedentary. I know you're in your third trimester. So at any point, if you are the judge, and this is one of the things, you're the judge, and you know your body better than anyone. And I'm saying this from the trainer's mouth. You know your body better than anyone. So if there's anything that you need to just like take a moment, take a pause, that's fine. But I want to give you tools so that you have them wherever you are. That's super low maintenance. So we're just going to go ahead and stand up on our feet. I'm going to move this chair. So one of the first things that we start to do, I'm going to bring the speaker just a little bit closer so that you can hear me. One of the first things that I like to do when we're starting movements is to just take time to be intentional and to ground. So we notice this a lot in yoga. We bring so many things to that mat. So taking the time, I'm going to have you just take your right hand, wrap it around your rib cage here, and then take your other hand and wrap it around your rib cage. It's almost like you're giving yourself a mini hug. We're going to just have a soft bend in the knee. Go ahead and plant those heels into the ground. Soften in the knee, pulling your feet apart at the bottom here. We're just going to close our eyes, relax our shoulders away from our ears, and we're just going to take a couple deep breaths here. As we inhale through your nose, deep inhale. A loud exhale. We should feel our rib cage contract towards our midline as soon as we do that. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Loud exhale. 2 more breaths here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. 1 more breath. In through the nose. Expanding into those arms, mouth. So this pause helps us. You can slowly open your eyes. This pause is just going to help us remind us where we are. We're going to sink in. You're going to turn those toes out. So oftentimes we're on the computer here. We want to be expansive. So we're just going to go ahead here, put those arms here to the side. We're just going to go ahead and open up, taking that chest towards the sky. Exhale, bring those arms in. Soft bend in the knee. Exhale, open up that back towards the sky. Exhale. Good. 3 more breaths here. In through the nose, exhale, out to the sky. Good. In through the nose, up, arching that back, opening up those shoulders. 2 more here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. We're going to go ahead, sinking in, just a small little squat there, and then reach across that body here. We're going to sink in. Good. Inhale. Exhale, reach, opening up that whole rib cage. You could feel that it might be a little tight there. Exhale, reaching across that body here. We're going to get 5 more stretches in. Long reach there. Good. 3 more. Exhale, opening up that rib cage. You feel that stretch all along your side there. Exhale, reaching to that other side. 1 more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to go ahead, bring those arms in. Anytime we can bring in that upper body and the lower body at the same time, it's fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and bring in some choreography here. Just go ahead and step. So we're bringing in those 90-degree angles. Step. Just go ahead, push into that heel. Soft bend in the knee. In through your nose, out through your mouth. We're going to be here for 30 seconds. So if you don't have access to weights or resistance bands, anytime you're at home, we want to get that heart rate up, that blood flowing. We're going to bring in that upper body and that lower body. Good. 5 more seconds here for 4. Exhale for 3. Connect to your breath. 2 more. For 2. And 1. You're going to just come to the top of your mat here. We're going to just take a step. So an advanced version of this here would be a reverse lunge. For you, Ash, you may come back and just step here. So we're hinging at the hips, step, come up to the top. We're here for 30 seconds. Again, at home, if you want to go ahead, take that back knee, 90-degree angles, knees over that ankle, we can. We're going to sink in. If you need the modification, you're just taking that step, drawing that belly in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're here for 5, 4 more. For 4. Good. For 3. For 2, 1 more. Last one here. We're going to go to that other side. So again, the modification here is we're drawing that belly in, pulling those shoulder blades down. We're stepping back. If you can, you're going to go ahead, reverse lunge here. Take that back knee to the mat, just above that mat, in through the nose, relaxing those shoulders away from those ears. Good. Good. For 5, here we go. For 4. For 3, 2 more. Good, Ash. For 2. Last one here. We're going to go ahead, open up here, back in step sumo position. We're going to sink in and then bring those arms overhead. So we're sinking in to those heels, bringing those arms back down. In through the nose, exhale for 10. Nice and tall, relaxing those shoulders. For 9. Opening up, press into those heels, nice and tall. For 8. 7 more. For 6. In through the nose, out through the mouth. For 5. 4 more. For 4. Good. Exhale. For 3. 2 more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. For 2. Last one here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to turn to the side here. Staggered stance. You're going to go ahead, hinging at the hip. Imagine there's water on the ground and you're just going to scoop that water up to the top, squeezing those glutes, making sure not to hyperextend here. We're nice and tall. So we're going to bending that knee, scoop that water up nice and tall for 10. Good. You bend at the knee. So pushing those hips all the way back, hinging, scooping that water. Good. We scoop that water for 5. 4 more. Hinging at those hips for 3. 2 more. Exhale for 2. 1 more. We're going to push those hips back, scoop that water. We're going to go to the other side. So this is just a basic movement pattern that we really can benefit from. So pushing those hips back, soft bend in the knee here, scooping that water, reach nice and tall. Good. For 10. Exhale on the way up. In through the nose for 9. For 8. For 7. 6 more. Bending at the hip. For 6. Hinging there. For 5. 4 more. Push those hips back. Yes. For 3. 2 more. For 2. Last one. For 1. Good. We're going to stand nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and connect to our core here. Soft bend in the knee. We're going to take that knee, open up the hip, and then bring that back. So we're going to take that side, open up that leg, and slowly tap it back for these hip circles. Nice and tall. Imagine there's a water bottle that you don't want to knock over, so you're going to go ahead and slowly pick that leg up. Exhale, bring it back. Good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That's it. Good. Last 3 here. In through the nose. Core is tight. Exhale for 2. 1 more. In through the nose. We're going to go to the other side. So nice and tall for me through that core. Exhale. Open up those hips. Bring it back around. for 10. In through the nose, out through the mouth for 9. For 8, 7 more. For 6, are your hip flexors tight, Ash?
What?
Are your hip flexors tight?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For 3, 2 more. Good. Good. 1 more. And here. Good. We're going to go soft bend in the knee. We're going to take those arms out to the side, circle them all the way around, bring them all the way back. So we're here to the side. They're going to come out to our side, coming all the way to our front raise, circling all the way back down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Soft bend in the knee, mindful of the core here. Good. Exhale for 10. Here we go. We circle around for 9. Beautiful. For 8, 7 more. For 6, 5 more. Relaxing those shoulders away from your ears. For 4, 3 more. For 3, last 2. For 2, 1 more. Good. We're going to pick those arms up 90s. You're just going to pull back. So pulling those shoulder blades down and back. You're reaching forward. Good. We're doing our rows here. So if you had a bar or a resistance band at home, you can add that for a little bit more of advanced movement there. Pulling those shoulder blades down and back. We're here for 10. For 9. Pull. For 8. For 7. 6 more. For 5. 4 more. For 3. For 2. And 1, we're going to pick that heart rate up just a little bit. So you're just going to go ahead and pivot for me. So pivoting the foot, pushing that palm out here. We're going to press. Good. Try to reach as far away from your body as you can so we get that stretch in the lat there. If you want to go ahead and pick that pace up at home, you're just going to go ahead and step. Pivot, pivot. Good. Step, reach. Good. 10 seconds. For 9. For 8. 7 more. For 6. For 5, 4 more. 3, 2, last 1, and rest. So go ahead, grab some water really quickly. Take some time. How are you feeling?
I feel really good.
So you can see I'm at home. I'm already sweating. It doesn't take much, just a little bit. Showing up, getting that heart rate up, getting that blood to flow. You don't need much, but even if you do that every, hour or so, 2 hours, that's plenty. And you can circle through that as a great little circuit if you want to just move around through it.
Right, and that was like amazing.
I'm sweating. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that hopefully this is a resource that people and the community have any questions. I'm here. I'm here for you. We're so happy for you. We hope that you enjoy everything that you're going through and with your family. It's beautiful.
Much. And where can we obviously find your podcast and your products?
Yeah. So the podcast is on all platforms they're streaming. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, mgmethod.com. They're also hosted there. And then that sheet that I mentioned that they have friends and they want to go ahead and make their own pledge and show up for each other. That sheet is free there as well. It's called the execution calendar. They can find that on mgmethod.com. Yeah.
Much for doing this with me today and the Frenshe community. We're so grateful. I mean, obviously you did a post for Frenshe already, so they know you. But this has just been so great. I love your whole method. I love what you bring to everything with working out. It's not just doing the steps. It's really about the mental, and I love that. So thank you so much for doing
Yes, thank you so much. I really adore the community, that everyone is so friendly, so I'm so grateful to be here. And yeah, you're our group as well. So thank you.
Have an amazing
Okay, bye everybody.